most zen, articulate, amazing people who are so kind and loving, there's still things that they work on. And that's the whole point of life, is to keep on working. In this short life that only lasts an hour, how little is within our power. I'm just going to repeat that to myself every morning, right when I wake up. Hello friends, welcome back to Acting My Age podcast with me, Rohini Elise. Happy Wednesday, guys. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a spectacular day so far. If I sound a little bit nasally, it's because I have a little cold, just a wee cold, because I think, not to blame Catherine or anything, but I'm always with that bitch, and she nannies for 2 young kids, so, kids always get colds. So, that kind of threw off my whole podcast plan this week, because I was supposed to record yesterday technically, but I was just way too stuffy, and I'm feeling much better today thanks to my amazing immune system and all of the freaking awesome natural supplements that I take to boost my immune system. I got the cold yesterday, and I'm already feeling like 50% better today, so I imagine by tomorrow I will be feeling just fine, back to normal. Today's episode is going to be kind of all over the place. Unfortunately, I just didn't have my shit together in time to do usually I have a topic about a week ahead of time and ask you guys to send in stuff. And, I just didn't have my shit together. So it's just going to be a whole hodgepodge of things. Today, the day that I'm recording this, which is April 23rd, is actually the 1-year anniversary of Acting My Age podcast, which is very, very, very cool and very exciting. I can't believe it's been a year. So I thought today I would just kind of talk about like how much I've changed in a year, the biggest things that I've noticed, things I've noticed the most change within myself. That's not proper grammar. And also recommend some of my favorite books. You guys asked for that. And then also I did another fun little poll question time on my podcast Instagram stories, Acting My Age podcast on Insta. Just asked you guys a bunch of rapid fire questions with like a yes or no type of answer, and I thought it'd be really interesting to share what you guys said and just talk about life, man. I just discovered, sorry. Let's just get into the episode. I'm just gonna keep rambling. So let's get into it. Happy you're here. I posted yesterday on my main Insta at Rohini Elise that I was just feeling super bummed out with Instagram lately. And I've been feeling like that for a while, which always sucks because I often will delete Instagram for a couple days just when I feel like I need a break. And when it's the weekend or when I'm with friends or family, I just completely put my phone in the other room. But in the last week, I've been at home a lot, I guess, and had some downtime, and I just found myself falling back into that pattern of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling for no reason without even like engaging in the content or finding it particularly interesting or commenting or anything, like just scrolling and looking at everyone's stories and falling into that same negative pattern that I've done so many times in the past, where I just start comparing myself to everyone on Instagram. And sorry for the sniffles, guys. And it's not like comparing my looks against other people's looks or comparing like I don't know, physical features. It's always comparing how successful they are versus me. That's my fucking trap that I always fall into, and that's literally my biggest thing that I have to work on. I'm very conscious of that, and this Instagram thing that I keep falling back into is just my biggest reminder that I have so much work to do. And but it's a blessing, honestly, because I hope that I will never, I don't think I ever will, but I think, at least for me, like people that I respect, that I learn things from, always admit how much they still have to learn, because I do not care for people that pretend to know it all or have it all or be it all. I don't care for people that do that. Like, I just much more prefer people who are humble and honest and just aware of how human they are and not acting better than thou or whatever. I don't like that. I never have. So, anyway, this Instagram thing just been really bumming me out. And a couple months ago, after I went off, because I did like a month cleanse off Instagram, I deleted my Instagram for a month, which was fucking amazing. But after I did that, I realized that I was following all these people that I was getting no value from. And I just basically recondoed my Instagram. So I went through, and if that person, their content didn't actually spark joy, like real ass joy, like spark something within me, I unfollowed them. And I unfollowed over 1,000 people. And it is kind of awkward because some people I've like met in real life and I'm like acquaintances with, but it's nothing personal. Like, I would still, if I talked to them or saw them again, like I'd still want to hang out. But just in terms of Instagram, I'm very aware of how brainwashing it can be and how much it can suck you in. And with all of the time I spend on it, unfortunately, definitely trying to cut back on that. But with all of the amount of my day that I do spend on Instagram, it's quite a lot, unfortunately. So it's a regular pattern in my life. And so I want what I consume on there to be beneficial, to be interesting, to be engaging, to teach me something, to expand my mind, to give me inspiration, to spark my creativity, things like that. I don't want it to just be mindless content. So I unfollowed a ton of people, and I followed a ton of spiritual people and like quote pages and like motivational speakers and podcast hosts and just people that really expand my mind and don't have pretty feeds, but they have very interesting concepts and things that they talk about. And that was the biggest exodus, I guess, was all of the just really pretty, beautiful feeds. Because I followed so many like beautiful feed girls that it's wonderful how creative they can be on there, but I wasn't getting anything from it really. Like, I don't know. I'm not in the stage in my life where I really care about what designer shoes you have, even though I'm very happy for you that you're enjoying them. Like, that's great. But I'm not getting anything from that. It's not benefiting my life or enriching my life in any type of way. It's just visual stimulation, but I want something more than that. So anyway, I've been on that whole wave of trying to find interesting people. And yesterday I asked you guys to recommend some people, and I got amazing, amazing, amazing suggestions. And I've already completely fallen in love with one of the people that you guys recommended. Her name is Africa Brooke. And oh my God, it was literally love at first sight. I followed her last night, and then she posted an IGTV today called Dare to be Canceled, Cult Dynamics, Cult Dynamics, Seeking New Perspective, and more. And it's 62 minutes long. I watched the entire thing, and I could not tell you the amount of times I was like, yes, yes. Like, I was literally like physically clapping. I was like, yes, out loud. Like, this woman spoke so many truths that I have not been able to articulate, that she just put things into words so beautifully, so eloquently, just fucking amazing. I'm in love with this woman, and I'm so glad she exists, and I'm so glad that she has the courage to say all the things she does, because it is so needed right now. And hopefully I will have the courage to also speak my mind like that one day, but right now I don't. The wounds are still a little fresh. So anyway, if you're someone who likes to expand your mind and not be just be curious and not fall into cancel culture, not fall into the very polarizing dynamics that we have going on online and also just in life right now, I would definitely recommend that you check her out. I think she's fucking incredible, and I'm so glad that she exists. Oh, God, amazing, amazing, amazing. So I'm so grateful that you guys recommended these amazing people, because I already feel so much, my life feels much more enriched because of it. And yeah, so that's a little interesting thing going on. So I actually found out some very exciting news recently. I don't know how much I want to share yet, but I applied for this fellowship it's hosted by one of my favorite spiritual mentors, I guess you could say, someone I really look up to, and I've studied a lot in the last couple months or year, and I just really admire what they do. and the impact they have on this planet. And they have an in-person fellowship. And I applied, and there was a big wait list, and I got in. I just found out, and I'm so excited. It's truly like, I know it's going to completely change my life. This person's already changed my life so much and helped me expand everything about me and what I care about and what's important and all of that. So I just know this in-person experience is going to completely freaking change my life. And I'm so excited. It's in July, and I'm just so fucking honored and grateful that I got accepted. So that's going to be completely transformative, and I can't wait to keep you guys updated as it goes along. Again, I'm just very wary of sharing too much sometimes because of everything that happened. So actually that's what I wanted to talk about. So with this fellowship I'm doing, they do a lot of, healing. That's what the whole thing is about. It's about healing yourself so you can better help the planet and help the collective, and help people. And so they do like guided meditations and deep breath work, and like sharing circles and all these things. And I was imagining, before I found out I got in, it was after I applied, I was imagining what I would say if in one of the sharing circles they asked me what was the biggest thing that I was like struggling with and wanting to work on, and like what's my biggest wound, I guess. Because I have a feeling that's something that's going to come up. And I was just picturing, I was actually in the bath, I was picturing what I would say, which actually was a very good exercise. So I would definitely recommend you guys do that if you want. Like, imagine yourself in some type of sharing circle, and imagine what you'd say if someone asked you what your biggest wound was, and like what you've learned from it and what you have to overcome. Very powerful stuff. So anyway, I envisioned that, and I came to a huge conclusion that I've never realized before. And it's that from all of the stuff that happened after I went to Mexico, and not just that, after my first run-in with cancel culture, when the Black Lives Matter movement first started last year, both of those left me feeling very, very vulnerable and not safe, with myself, with others online, just feeling super vulnerable. And I never realized that's what it was, because I, have been hearing a lot lately and learning that whenever someone is aggressive or defensive or lashing out or any of that, it's like all of your triggers have to do with a wound. And no matter what it is, there's something that needs to be healed or is begging to be healed within you that causes you to lash out or react strongly in any certain way. And whenever something happens, like if I ever get a nasty comment or a nasty DM or anything, I get super triggered, and I don't, not to the point where I instantly react because I know not to, but I still get like, it's like this humongous flood of emotion floods up through me. It's like rage mixed with wanting to throw up, honestly. And then I just squash it down as quickly as it comes up. So it's like, and then I just squash it down, and then I go, I'm fine. And I just realized that that's super unhealthy, and I still am not like healed from everything that happened. Like, I'm just not. I thought I was, but I'm not because I'm still having these reactions that I have to tamp down, which is not healthy. So I've been practicing working through letting the full emotion come up. Like, if I see a comment, I let the full emotion of how it makes me feel come up instead of pushing it down, suppressing it. And then I like either journal or just go through in my head, like, okay, what is this really about? Like, how does this make you feel? Why does it make you feel like this? Do you believe what this person has to say? Do you want to take advice from this person? Like, and then try to walk through it and eventually hopefully get to the conclusion, like, this person needs love, and this is how they're lashing out for the wounds that they don't have healed within themselves. That's the end point, but sometimes it takes me a while to get there. So anyway, that's just been something I've really been working on, and I just never realized, like, I never connected the anger and the, like, wanting to throw up, because whenever something happens, I get so nauseous and I really feel like I'm either going to pass out or throw up. And I start like shaking, I get full body anxiety, and like I've never been someone that has symptoms of anxiety like in my body. And whenever I see a comment or a DM or whatever, I get fucking super bad anxiety, like very physical, very just nauseous, want to throw up, shake, pass out, hide under the bed, all of those things. And I've learned how to like, shove it down, but I don't think that's healthy. So just connecting that oh, and I get super feisty too. So like I'm never gonna say something to anyone, but if Sage is around, I'm like, yeah, that fucking bitch, blah blah blah. Like I get feisty and I want to attack them, even though I don't. But my initial reaction is, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up, that fucking bitch. Like I still have a very I react strongly to things online, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to not be reactionary. I want to just, accept people as they are and understand that people are hurting and that's why they attack. That's literally the only reason why anyone attacks, is because they're hurting inside. And I just want to heal that part of me and not be so vulnerable. So I never realized that's what it was. And I think I just talked about this in the last episode, or maybe I didn't. I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did. So this was the other big realization I had last, when I went on the girls' trip with Catherine. Just really trying to get to the bottom of where my triggers, I guess. I feel like I don't like the word triggers because I hate how people like, I'm triggered, like in like a joking way, or like it's turned into a whole nother thing. I don't like that. So that makes me not really like that word, but I do think it's an accurate description of what happened. So like my triggers, like what makes me upset and what makes me like defensive and anxious, all that. I realized when I was with Catherine, because she was talking about herself, and I don't want to obviously share for her, but we came to the conclusion, we're basically doing like therapy on each other, which is fucking dope, but we came to the conclusion that she seeks internal validation, and I seek external validation. Because of how we were speaking, we're like, whoa, like what I'm always concerned about is what someone else is going to think of me, what someone else is going to think of my achievements, if I'm living up to what someone else, wants of me. Like I never worry about if I'm making enough money for me. I worry about if I'm making enough money for Sage to feel like he doesn't have to carry all the load, or if I'm if I have enough Instagram followers, so this person will think I'm successful, if I'm putting out enough content that my managers will think I'm doing a good job. It's never for me. Like I don't seek internal validation as much as I seek external validation, because and then we were talking about how that relates to our childhood, because my parents are very supportive, and they always told me how, like literally my mom every fucking day would be like, you are great. Do you know that you are great? Like you are love, you are light, you are God, you are here for a reason, like hyping me up every fucking day. So I've always like had that inner worth aspect to myself. Like I know that I'm good and I know that I'm here for a reason. And that part I got like, relatively on lock. But my whole thing growing up, I always wanted to be fucking cool. I just realized this. Like literally, this is what being an adult is, I guess, is just figuring out your fucking story that you're telling yourself and figuring out how it's harming you and helping you. So that's my whole thing. I've always wanted to be cool. Like in elementary school, I wanted to, have the cute lunchbox and have the trendy lunch and sit with the cool girls at lunch and go to sleepovers and all that. And I mean, I always wanted to be the cool girl, and I'm not, I was in middle school, in high school, whatever. I was in the popular crowd, and that literally doesn't mean anything. But, like, I don't know. I was always one, I'm like, oh yeah, like all the boys like me. Like I want all the boys to like me. Literally in middle school, I got boobs really early. I think maybe I told this story already. I don't know. But I got boobs really early. And everyone thought I stuffed my bra. That was the rumor. Because I think it was in like 4th grade or 5th grade or something. I had one of my friends over, and my cousin sent me her hand-me-down bras. And we were trying them on, and they were way too big for me because she was in high school and I was in like 5th grade. But I was trying them on and I was like, oh my God, like these are huge. And I put socks and I'm like, look how much like socks I would need to, fit in this bra. And so that friend went and told all her friends who hated me that I stuffed my bra, which was not the case. Anywho, that little story followed me throughout middle school. So whenever I had my boobs looking perky and pretty, people would say that I stuffed my bra, like all this shit. Like I always had so much drama and gossip about me in middle school for literally no reason. But I was quite promiscuous. Like I always wanted to have the external validation, the external attention of the boys, of the girls, of everything. I always wanted that and I fucking liked it. Like obviously I liked it. So in middle school, I remember I would like I don't know with who. A couple of my friends, we'd play like music on our iPods and like practice body rolling outside in the soccer field with the boys watching. We'd be like, ooh, ooh, like practice body rolling. So fucking cringy, dude. Why do we do these things in middle school? It's so funny. But yeah, I've just always wanted that external validation. Like in high school, freshman year, I, wanted to date all the football players and I did. And I wanted to date the upperclassmen and I did. And I wanted everyone to think I was hot and cool and I was a cheerleader. And like I always got off on that. Like I liked that. And I wanted the teachers to love me and I wanted the principal to love me. And so I did ASB and I got good grades and I just really wanted people to like me. And I never wanted anyone to be mad at me. I never wanted confrontation. I would do anything to avoid confrontation. If someone did something shitty to me, I would just be like, okay, like I just take it because I didn't want them not to like me. I've always wanted that fucking external validation. And I literally never connect the dots with that to now how my biggest struggle is like comparing myself to others who I perceive are more successful. And it's literally not even the success that I want for myself. It's like if a third party would see me compared to this other person and see how many more Instagram followers they have and more comments they have, I'm like upset that this third party probably doesn't view me as good as the other person. Does that make sense? It's like I've just struggle with that. So it's very interesting. And everything that happened, all of the controversy and drama and trolls and fucking having my address leaked and having my contracts canceled and literally going from making over 6 figures to fucking like nothing in a week. I haven't talked about that, but yeah, it was fucking real. I just feel vulnerable and I never really like figured that's what the wound is. I feel vulnerable. I don't feel safe in who I am online anymore, I guess. So that's a light bulb, ding ding ding, aha moment. But I think it's really good that I realized that because now I know how to take the next step forward to try to figure out how to heal it. And something that I've been saying, like I've been doing affirmations after my meditation in the morning, just letting it literally come out, whatever I need. Like I just put on this like really funky kind of like, it's called like tribal DNA drum activation or something. It's like really funky drum music. And I just let whatever needs to come out. And one of the main things that comes out is I am safe. I am protected. I am safe. I am protected over and over. So I'm like, shit. And it's like, yeah, I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm worthy, I'm dedicated, I'm motivated, I'm here for a reason, I'm loved, I'm lovable, I'm all those things. Like it just comes out. And so I would really recommend doing that. Also, fun hot tip. If you guys don't like turbulence, which I fucking hate turbulence, it's literally the worst. I freak out. I start crying, hyperventilating. Like I just don't understand how we can be in a metal box in the sky, metal tube in the sky, and like it's bumpy. How are we not going to die right now? Like I obviously know objectively it's going to be fine, but in the moment it doesn't feel fine. So the last couple of times I've flown, I've practiced just closing my eyes and saying, I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm safe, I'm protected, just over and 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 over until the turbulence stops. And it really helps. It helped me last time not have a panic attack. So if anybody struggles with, turbulence on planes, try that shit out because it worked for me. So anyway, that was random, but, yeah, I just wanted to update you guys because you guys share so much with me and you're super vulnerable with me. And the whole point of me doing this podcast is just to kind of keep you guys updated with where I'm at with my personal growth, And I think there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of with admitting like where you're at and what you're struggling with and what you need to work on. Like the people that I admire most who are incredibly successful, brilliant people who have had so many amazing successes, like written books and have a very substantial following and, all those things. And they're really great people. They always talk about the things they struggle because no one's fucking perfect. We're never going to be. Even the most zen, articulate, amazing people who are so kind and loving, there's still things that they work on. And that's the whole point of life, is to keep on working. And if anyone gives you the vibes that they are higher than thou and better than thou and got it all figured out, that's just some bullshit. That's just an insecurity. It's a coping mechanism. So, just be honest with where you're at. That's my vibe. So anywho, I thought I would recommend a few books because I keep talking about books like in one episode and then the next episode I talk about another, and someone asked if I could just recommend a bunch of books in one sitting. So here we go. Okay, so I don't have all of them in here, but the number one book I recommend, which you guys probably know I just talked about in the last episode, Letting Go by David Hawkins. It is the first book that really catapulted me into my journey of self-exploration and spirituality. And it's really not that spiritually focused, I feel like. Now that I've read a bunch of other books, this one's pretty like, I think anybody could read it and really benefit from it. It's very powerful. I've recommended it to so many people and they have all gotten a lot out of it. So 10,000% recommend. The second book I would recommend is The Coddling of the American Mind by Greg Lukianoff and Jonathan Haidt. I think that's how you say his last name. Not a spiritual book whatsoever, but it is one of the most impactful books I've read this year, and I think one of the absolutely most necessary books written right now for our generation and how things are shaping up in terms of, just the fucking attitudes right now online and in person and how polarizing and divisive everything is. So please read this if you want to, be part of the change and be part of people who actually want unity and acceptance and not judging and assumptions and all that. So very powerful book. I think it's really good. It's written by two professors. So yeah. And next book, Journey to the Heart by Melody Beattie. It's not a book. It's a book, but it's daily meditations. So it just has like August 26th and then like a couple paragraphs that are kind of like poems. It's very nice, very beautiful. I like keeping it on the where I have breakfast so that in the morning I can just look and see the meditation for the day, and it's just nice peace of mind type of thing. Yeah. Next one, very, very good read if you guys are in a creative career path or want to be, or if you're just a creative soul, or honestly, pretty much anyone could benefit from this. It's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. It is incredible. It's the best kick in the ass ever. Like if you have this dream that you want to achieve and you want to start your own business and you want to do this, but you're just like not doing it, like you need to do it, but you're just not. You're putting it off. You're, putting it to the back burner. This book will literally give you the best kick in the ass ever and get you going. It is so good. He talks about resistance. Resistance is the enemy. And I just keep it by my computer. So whenever I write or whenever I'm putting off writing, I just read it and then I go, shit, okay. And then I start writing. So it's very good. It's a quick little book and it's one you can read over and over again and just flip open and read a page whenever you need some motivation. Let's see. I have some other books in the bathroom. I literally have piles of books all over the house. So what are my bathroom books? Yeah, so really great book, Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I haven't finished the whole thing. It's a big read, and I kind of save it for when I'm in the bathtub, so that's why I haven't finished it yet. But it is very, very it makes your mind get very creative, and it's very like I have so many images swirling around in my mind when I'm reading it, and very, very expansive book, very great for women. It's all about unleashing the wild feminine within you, and that is something that I'm very much prioritizing in this chapter of my life, unleashing the wild feminine energy, because it's so fucking powerful and it's so dope and it's such a gift. So that book is really incredible. I like it a lot. I also really like You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza. That is gonna blow your fucking mind if you have never dabbled into anything besides Western medicine. It's gonna blow your fucking mind. It is so incredible. Joe Dispenza does insane things. He is truly just on this earth to fucking shatter everything, and he heals so many people. It's not even him. He just teaches people how to heal themselves. And it's so cool. So yeah, that book will blow your mind and completely make you rethink your potential as a human in terms of like what your body and your mind is actually capable of. I've said this before, but literally all the placebo effect is, it's when they do, I think, a double blind study is what it's called, pretty sure. And for a pharmaceutical drug, and half the study gets the drug and half the study are told that they are also getting the drug, but they're actually given a sugar pill or a saline injection, or a fake surgery. And oftentimes the placebo, the people that had the fake surgery, the fake pill, heal themselves just as much, if not more, than the people who actually get the drug. And they were never given anything. It's just the power of the mind, because they were told they're getting something that's going to heal them. So they believe they're going to be healed. And so their mind starts working that way. Their body starts working that way, and they literally heal themselves. That's all the placebo effect is, you guys. And that this book just goes into all of these accounts of spontaneous healing from literally every disease, everything you could think of, and it's literally just the power of the mind. So it's so fucking dope. We are so powerful, and that connects directly to manifestation too. So you can manifest pretty much anything. So yeah, that's dope. Let's see what else. What are some other amazing books? I have a lot of books that I'm like just started or half read, but these are two I'm reading right now that are both very, very eye-opening. I'm all about fucking expanding my mind and shattering my current beliefs to just be open to so many other ways of thinking, because the world is pretty boring if you only think one way and are not open to anything else, in my opinion. So this book, Aubrey Marcus recommended, and it's called The More Beautiful World Our Hearts Know Is Possible by Charles Eisenstein. Eisenstein. And it's very good. It's very good. I haven't finished it yet, but I've already gotten quite a lot from it. Let's see. It's all about just the realities of basically bad and good in life, and how much good is really possible if we all kind of focus on healing ourselves and believing that, a more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. So it's very good. And it's very, he writes it in a very relatable way. Like, it's not some fancy doctor or psychologist writing a really hard to digest book. Like, it's very just written in common sense language that's very interesting and easy to understand. So definitely would recommend that. I literally read all the time, guys. I realized that I should start breaking up my week because basically right now I just read a little bit, like a lot of times during the day. Like during breakfast, I'll read a little bit. During lunch, I'll read a little bit. During, the afternoon, I'll read a little, or when I take a bath or whatever, but I don't I don't block out huge chunks of time. So I realized that I should just have one day a week where I just read and study all day. And these books I'm reading aren't although I do love to read, some fun little novels too, but these are all mind-blowing, studying, fucking dope books that they teach in college classes, or they're heavy duty books basically. So it truly is studying, and it's changing my life and bettering my life so much. So I should just have one day a week where I fucking study and just have that be my day of reading. So I'm going to start doing that and take notes and everything. This book I just got, the Red Book, a reader's edition by none other than Carl Jung. If you guys don't know who Carl Jung is, he's one of the founding fathers of modern day psychology. Him and, Freud and a bunch of other people, but he is very, 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 very impactful. I had no idea. Sage's Nana is one of the top practitioners of Jungian, I think that's how you say Jungian psychology in the US. I knew she was an amazing therapist, but I didn't know that she was fucking on this level. So basically, this book is like one of his most famous and impactful life's work, and it is, God, it's blowing my mind already. Let me read you just like a little bit. This is like a little bit harder of a read because it's quite dense, and again, he's a very intelligent psychologist, so it's like you really have to focus when you read it, but there's a lot that I can get out of it. So these are a few things I highlighted. Do you believe, man of this time, that laughter is lower than worship? Where is your measure, false measurer? The sum of life decides in laughter and in worship, not your judgment. That blew my mind. It just, that literally sums up everything. Like, who are you to judge literally anything? Just be. Don't judge, just be. That, like, why do you get to judge and assume that laughter is lower than worship in terms of what is like holy about being alive? Like, if you're really laughing, you are very close to God. Like, you're just completely in it, laughing, joyful, carefree, out of your body, just laughing, like completely absorbed in joy and love. And that is what worship is it not? So that just, I love that. That blew my mind. And it is no teaching and no instruction that I give you. On what basis should I presume to teach you? I give you news of the way of this man, but not of your own way. My path is not your path. Therefore, I cannot teach you. The way is within us, but not in God's, not in teachings, not in laws. Within us is the way, the truth, and the life. Woe betide those who live by way of examples. Life is not with them. If you live according to an example, you thus live the life of that example. But who should live your own life, if not yourself? So live yourselves. The signposts have fallen, unblazed trails lie before us. Do not be greedy to gobble up the fruits of foreign fields. Do you not know that you yourselves are the fertile acre which bears everything that avails you? Yet who today knows this? Who knows the way to the eternally fruitful climes of the soul? You seek the way through mere appearances. You study books and give ear to all kinds of opinion. What good is all that? There is only one way, and that is your way. You seek the path? I warn you away from my own. It can also be the wrong way for you. May each go his own way. That's so powerful. And it just reminds me, like, every single thing. So what's so great about learning and studying, it's like every single thing that any of us are struggling right now is nothing new. No matter how crazy our society seems right now, it's nothing new. These problems have always existed. There's always been people on both sides thinking they're right. There's always been, hatred and lying and corruption and greed and all these things. It's always existed. And literally all there is to focus on bettering yourself for yourself and finding your own path and your own way. That's all there is. That's all there's ever been. So it's just crazy to me. Like, literally my mind is being exploded every single day. I'm like, everything I've ever known just exploded and like shattered, and then I start over every day. It's so fun, so dope. Let's see. This is from the same excerpt. I'll just finish this and then put this book away. I will be no savior, no lawgiver, no master teacher unto you. You are no longer little children. That fire. If anyone is telling you that their way is the only way, then that's some fucking bullshit, because you do not need, like, that's what Aubrey Marcus always says. You do not need a guru or a God or a someone to take you, like, to take you to enlightenment. Like, enlightenment is within you. You don't need a church to take you to God. Like, God is within you. That kind of thinking, like, you don't need you don't need anybody else, basically. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, sorry, back to the thing. Giving laws, bettering, making things easier has all become wrong and evil. May each one seek out his own way. The way leads to mutual love and community. Men will come to see and feel the similarity and commonality of their ways. Laws and teachings held in common compel people to solitude, so that they may escape the pressure of undesirable contact. But solitude makes people hostile and venomous. Ain't that that's the most fucking true thing I've ever heard in my life. I can't even talk. Therefore, give people dignity and let each of them stand apart so that each may find his own fellowship and love it. Power stands against power, contempt against contempt, love against love. Give humanity dignity and trust that life will find the better way. Give humanity dignity. Whew. The one eye of the Godhead is blind. The one ear of the Godhead is deaf. The order of its being is crossed by chaos. So be patient with the crippledness of the world and do not overvalue its consummate beauty. Deep stuff. And of course, you guys know I believe in God, so by reading this, I'm not like shitting on anyone who believes in God and a higher power, because I absolutely do. And so does he if you keep reading his stuff. But it's just simply saying that, you know, it's kind of what I said in the last episode. You know, Carl Jung and I are really on the same page. Just kidding. It's just don't give away your power to anyone else, basically, is how I'm interpreting that. So yeah, that's dope. Ryan Holiday also has a lot of good books. The Obstacle is the Way. The Daily Stoic, that's his thing. So yeah, there's a lot of very impactful books. I think those are the ones that come to mind. I also just ordered 3 that Africa Brooks, who I just talked about earlier, she recommended in one of her IGTVs, and I just ordered those, and I have a feeling they're going to be very, very, very up my alley and very impactful. So I will share those with you guys too. Oh, I found this, or I saw this quote on Instagram the other day that I loved so much. I posted it on Instagram. In this short life that only lasts an hour, how much, how little is within our power? Emily Dickinson. Oh, I would get that as a tat if I could. It's a little too long, I think, for a tattoo for me. But in this short life that only lasts an hour, how much, how little is within our power? I'm just going to repeat that to myself every morning, right when I wake up. Just like such a reminder, such a kick in the ass. Just, are you going to squander your life? Are you going to waste away your life? Are you going to, just be stuck and feel like you're hopeless and all these things? Or are you going to take your power back, take your power and believe in yourself? So easier said than done, of course, but I really liked that quote. Okay, so now I'm going to read some of the things that you guys said. Okay, so I asked quite a few questions just to kind of see the vibes. I'll read some of them for you guys. They're just polls, like yes or no, because I just wanted to see. Do you believe in God or a higher being? 59% said yes. 41% said not sure. And I had a few people say, well, you didn't give me a no option, and I would have clicked no. So I guess I should have said yes and no. But I don't know. I just said not sure. It's props to you guys for putting up with me if you don't believe in God, or a higher power. Like, I'm always rambling on about that. So props to you guys for being patient with me if you're not down for that. But that's what's so cool about the world, is that everyone can have different opinions, and that's just fine. So let's see. Next question. Have you ever done psychedelics? 17% said yup. 83% said nope. And I also asked later, would you be open to trying psychedelics? And 60% of people said yes, and 40% of people said not for me. So I thought that was really interesting. And I also wanted to give myself the opportunity to tell you guys that for the last 3 months, 3 months, maybe more, Sage and I have been microdosing every day. Not every day, but we're basically following the Stamets protocol, which is 5 days on, 2 days off. And you just, microdose a small amount of psilocybin mushrooms. And there are clinical studies proving that it helps with anxiety, PTSD, depression, stress, energy levels, sleep, literally everything. It's I'm not, telling you to do this. This is up to you as an adult. you can make your own decisions. But I am simply saying that I love it, Sage, and I fucking love it. It has really been a wonderful, addition to our lives. Like, we're not dependent on it or anything. There's plenty of weeks we go without doing it, but I definitely notice a difference when we do it. At least for me, I notice a boost in my mood. I see the grass as greener. It's just like I notice the beauty in life more. I appreciate nature more. I'm more forgiving, more open with myself and others, and not as judgmental. It's just a mood thing is what I mostly notice. And something that I think is super interesting within this last year, I think our entire world or consciousness as a humanity has really, really woken up. Like, so many more people are talking about spirituality and God and, finding themselves and focusing on doing the inner work. And also a lot of people are talking about psychedelics more. I've never noticed it before. Honestly, last couple months, within the last month, so many of my friends that I've been friends with for a long time on Instagram, who've never mentioned it in the last couple weeks or month, have mentioned doing psychedelic mushrooms, doing mushroom ceremonies, microdosing, all these things. So I think it's very interesting how this is all coming up. I've never done LSD, but I am open to it. I think I will always prefer mushrooms because it's natural, it's from the planet. But I have heard LSD, can lead to some pretty crazy self-exploration. So I am open to it as a, probably like once a year type of thing, not a regular habit or thing to do, but I'm down. I'm open to trying, most things if they're going to be beneficial. That's just me. Of course, that's my opinion. You don't have to want to do psychedelics. It's just what I'm down. I'm super down. The mushroom trip that I did, I've already talked about it, but it was very cool, and I've noticed significant changes in myself after doing it. And the main thing is that I notice mushrooms everywhere. You guys might think I'm fucking with you, but I swear to God, I notice mushrooms everywhere ever since doing mushrooms. Like, if there is a mushroom on the ground out in the forest, like 10 feet away, I will notice it. If there's a mushroom on a poster, I'll notice it. On a shirt, I'll notice it. Like, I notice mushrooms everywhere, which I never did before. So I think that's pretty crazy. And my appreciation for nature quadrupled, 10x'd since doing mushrooms. And I'm actually going to be doing it again soon. So I'm very excited about that. I think they say to wait at least 4 weeks between trips. It's been way more than 4 weeks for me, but just so you guys know, passing along that information. Again, I am no expert. I have no qualifications whatsoever to be talking about this, but I am simply sharing my experiences. So yeah, anyway, I am very intrigued in how plants are here to help us and expand our consciousness, and I would love to do ayahuasca. I would absolutely love to. I am totally called to do it, and I am just waiting for the time that it will come. So that's going to be fucking crazy. Wow. Yeah. So let's see. Next question. Do you feel connected to your purpose on the planet? 36% of people said hell yes. 64% of people said not yet. Also I should say, with microdosing, mushrooms, LSD, any of that, psychedelics, it is very easy if you don't treat it with respect and like a kind of like a ceremony or something that's there to help you. If you just kind of do it all the time without putting any intention or any like weight to it, it is easy to overdo it. And there are many cases of people just going too hard and kind of losing it, like, because it takes you so far out of your body and out of reality. Like, it can take you too much out of reality in a way so that you have a hard time kind of like being on the planet. So I would just, recommend, being cautious, look into it, get it from somewhere you trust, do it with people you trust and are fully safe and comfortable with. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Simple as that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of hidden things on our planet that are here to help us, that grow naturally. And I don't think it's a coincidence. That's my opinion. Okay, next question. Do you feel you've undergone a major mindset shift in the last year? 87% said yes, 13% said not really. 87%, that's a lot. I feel like everyone I know in my personal life has undergone crazy, crazy, crazy shifts in their opinions, their priorities, everything in the last year. Like, holy shit. This was quite a year, and I think it's absolutely been for the best. Everything is ultimately for the best, but yeah. What a year. So next question, do you believe in soulmates? 75% said yes, 25% said no. I wish I could say, like, I should have done questions if you don't believe in soulmates, like, why don't you? Or if you do, why do you? Next one, do you enjoy your own company? 92% of people said very much. 8% said not really. That 8%, I love you. I hope you can get there one day because you totally deserve to love yourself and love your own company. And it's a very worthwhile cause to get to know yourself to a point where you can accept and love yourself. Because, like I always say, you only have you for your whole life. So get to know yourself. Make your head a nice place to be. Obviously, it's not easy, but I think it's very much worth it. Next question. Would you call yourself a curious person? 95% of people said absolutely. 5% said no. Do you prioritize your health? Be honest, because I knew if I just said, do you prioritize your health, a lot of people would just say yes without thinking about it. 56% of people said yes. 44% said not really. I wonder if I should do a whole episode just on health, because it is the most important thing that we have. Literally the most important thing. Nothing else really matters, because without health, you don't have anything else. So I am very much a student of health and how we can, support our bodies and what they're here to do. As I say with the stuffy nose. But hey, I got so many of my natural remedies, man. I'm on my black seed oil. I'm on my echinacea. I'm on my sambucol. I'm on my vitamin C, my vitamin D, my zinc. I got all this shit. My magnesium for sleep. I should just do a whole video going through all my supplements. But also, supplements are not needed. I just have so much to say about this. I've learned so much from my nutrition class. Okay, next question. Do you want to have kids? 80% said yes. 20% said no kids for me. Let's see. This next question is, what is the most impactful thing you've learned this last year? So this is a answer, like a response, not just a yes or no. Lauren said that I am the only me that will ever exist, and I need to cherish that heart. Yes, yes, yes. I'm getting more and more nasally as this episode's going on. I'm so sorry. Celia said, plans rarely go the way you think they should, and that's the way it's meant to be. I like that. Just releasing expectations, releasing control, going with the flow. Ressie said, mindset is everything. Yes, girl. Caitlin, I think, said, or Kate. Caitlin? I don't know. Learning is a never-ending process, and trust in the process. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Allie said, death doesn't mean the person leaves you. Yes. Yes, that's so powerful. So powerful. So true. Everyone's going through something. Be patient and be kind to people, says Jess. Lynn said, some friends come and go, and that's okay. Everyone's in your life for a reason, for a lesson, for a learning experience, for some memories, but not everyone is supposed to stay in your life your whole life. I learned that I wasn't living for myself, and now I'm learning how to do that, Emily says. Hell yes, girl, you got this. Someone said, I don't know, their username doesn't have their name in it, said the letting go technique by David Hawkins. That's what's up. Jess said to let things go that don't serve you. Fuck yeah. That's that's been one of my things in meditation. I'm like, I release all that doesn't serve me. I release all that doesn't serve me, just over and over until I'm like, wah, fucking get it out of here. Ugh. Alexis says, I'm not my thoughts and I can heal myself and others. Fuck yeah, bitch. Yeah, you can. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a bitch. I said it in a loving way. I promise. Someone said, I'm worth it. Someone said, I learned to really question my beliefs. Me too. Times a million times. Like, fuck. Question. Have a curious mind. That's what Africa said in her IGTV. Just always lead with a curious mind. And that means don't assume you know everything before even listening to the full podcast or the full episode. Don't assume something about someone that you only hear a soundbite or a snippet of online without actually researching that person. Like, just don't assume. Don't assume things about people. Next person said, social media ain't shit. We really do think people care more than they actually do. Social media ain't shit. Someone said, stop giving a fuck what people think of you, in all caps. Amen. Someone said, nothing is permanent, smiley face. Someone said, I have all of the answers inside of me. Brooke said, I've learned that medicine from the doctors isn't always the cure to illness, and then did mushrooms and plant emojis. Fuck yeah. I am so on that wave with you, girl. Trust the process. It's okay to go slow. Manifest. You can't control others' reactions to your trauma. Ooh. Health is wealth. That if it's meant to be, it will be. The life is a cycle. Unconditional love exists. So many good ones. So many good ones. Next question I asked, have you ever had a profound spiritual experience? And people had some pretty cool ones. I tripped acid with my boyfriend and it was insane. Most beautiful experience I've ever had. Sounds so fun. I see a lot of shadows, both human and animals. Ooh, that's cool. I've manifested things into existence, but I haven't reached the profound spiritual experience yet. In the ocean a year ago, I felt the energy in the water and realized energy is in everything. Wow, that's beautiful. My grandmother visited me in a dream last week and told me it's scary and then there's peace. Wow, that just gave me chills. Wow, that's super powerful. Scary and then there's peace. That's all we can hope for, right? That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. Wow, that's very powerful. Wow, this is cool. There was a mass global meditation during COVID and the experience was insane. I talked to multiple people who participated and we all experienced the same thing. It was like being scooped up in a giant energy wave. It was life-changing. I've never meditated on that scale with others before. That's amazing. Damn, I want to do one of those. That sounds really cool. Wow. Someone said I was rushing to see my papa before he passed away, and I literally felt when he did. Wow. That's super powerful. And I have no doubt in my mind that that is true. When my granny passed away, I had a dream of her while she was, like, she said bye while she was passing. And I woke up and my mom came in crying and I was like, did granny pass away? And she was like, yep. So yeah, I absolutely believe that. I felt the Holy Spirit at 14. I was on the floor ugly crying while still worshiping, and it was so powerful. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And I've said this a million times, but I'm so open and supportive of however you connect with the divine and your higher power and your, ultimately, to me, I feel like all of these, the spiritual consciousness, the higher realm, whatever you would like to call it, God, the universe, divine, Buddha, Allah, whatever you want to call it. To me, it just feels like love, like unconditional love and light, like washing over your whole body. And however that comes to you, whatever form, I'm so supportive. I think it's all amazing. And I totally know that feeling of just ugly crying, like just washed in like love and light and just being like, oh my God, like, holy shit, what is happening right now? Like, is this what life is really about? It's pretty cool. I did a meet your spirit guide meditation, and it was my mom's mom who died and I never met. Wow, that's really cool. Oh, I was praying and I felt like Jesus was actually hugging me. It was the most incredible experience. Wow, that's really cool. I don't know if I've said this before, but when my parents' religion that they practice, they believe and have like veneration, is that the right word, for all of the ascended masters, all of the masters from all the different religions. So like growing up, my mom had a poster of all of the, the Buddha and Jesus and I don't know, everyone, everyone that's an ascended master. And I totally believe that all of these figures existed, and I believe in every one of their power. I don't think there's, for me, I don't think there's just one. I think there's many ways to God. And yeah, that's my tea. That's what I believe. So like, I'll pray to Jesus, I'll pray to whoever. I'm down for all of it. And in my mind, my belief, what I think is that all of them are willing to help everyone. Like I that's just my opinion. That's a whole nother that's a whole long topic. But I did a meditation to meet my spirit guide and felt the presence of my granddad. I cried. Oh, so beautiful. I don't think I've ever told you guys, but I had a very very profound experience in a meditation a little while ago, and it was the most insane thing I've ever experienced. I think I need to say that for another podcast, but it was crazy. So yeah, meditation can take you very, very deep, very out of your body, it's amazing. And half of it is just believing that what you're experiencing is real and you're not crazy. Like, you're not crazy. What you're experiencing is real. So let me tell you that if you don't already know that. Yeah, and also breath work. If you guys haven't looked into breath work, that can take you to similar realms as if you're doing psychedelics, if not the same realms. It can totally take you to another fucking world. So I definitely want to get more into breath work. I have done it a little bit and I really, really like it. I've had the most deep meditations after breath work. So yeah. The last thing I'll say, I asked a question, do you believe you're a being of light? And 57% said duh girl and 43% said IDK. And I love both of those answers because it sounds kind of, I don't know, if you're not on the same similar spiritual wavelength or whatever, saying a being of light sounds really weird. Like, I understand that sounds really weird. So, I love both those answers. In my opinion, I think we are absolutely beings of light. All of us are. And light to me is simply just love and goodness, just good beings here to love and be loved. And yeah, that's what I believe. And then I also asked if you guys were going to buy my merch because I'm going to do merch for the podcast very soon. I've never done real merch before. I've done some very failed attempts. Well, they're not failed, but they weren't, people bought it, but I didn't know what I was doing at all. I did buttons and bucket hats, and I ended up shipping them all out myself, and it was not it was not a good idea. So yeah, this time I'm doing it the right way, the proper way. My management team has a designer that's working on the designs. I get to pick the different styles of the clothes and try it all out, and they handle all of the distribution and the customer service and all that, so I don't have to do that, which is really good because I just don't want to, and I don't really know how to do it properly. So I think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really cute. It's stuff that I want to wear. We're just meeting about the finalize designs on Monday, actually. So it will be coming soon. And just best believe it's going to be fucking cute, guys. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening. This turned out to be a long episode. I feel like we got pretty deep. And there's just a million more things to talk about. I shouldn't even worry when I don't have a topic because I can just chat about everything. I love talking to you guys. So thank you for listening to my nasally, stuffy self. Next week, it won't be like this. I literally hate how I sound right now. Oh, God. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And thank you for listening to me. If you've been along this ride for the whole last year, the first year of acting my age, thank you so much for hanging in there. I know the main topics have definitely changed since I started, but I have changed since I started, and each year I'm going to change. So that's just how it is, baby. And something really incredible, we're almost at 1 million downloads, which is literally insane. So thank you guys so much for just listening and sending it to your friends, and yeah, being so engaged and vulnerable and willing to share. Love you guys so much, and thank you. Talk to you next week. Bye.